like to introduce you to Whitney Lackey, an extraordinary young lady with a remarkable story of perseverance. At just 2 months old, Whitney was diagnosed with something called tuberous sclerosis complex, a rare multi-system genetic disease. Whitney was told she'd never walk or talk. Boy, has she proven otherwise. She recently finished competing in bocce ball in the 2014 Special Olympics. Her mother says competitions like this go a long way in improving Whitney's life.
I think her main thing was it just give her an opportunity to be able to participate in sports, which she loves, and she loves the social aspect of it, as well as being able to travel away from her parents and be more independent.
Whitney took home the bronze medal in doubles, placed 4th in the singles competition, and her team took home the silver medal. Whitney has certainly had a lot of support along the way from both her family and friends. In fact, sports provides a great opportunity to make lifelong friends, and don't we all need friends? Someone to talk to, hang out with, someone to trust.
Someone to trust. Well, there's a group on Delmarva that wants everyone to experience just what it's like to have a friend. It's called Best Buddies Delaware, and it's geared towards those who have intellectual or developmental disabilities. Delmarva Live's Sean Stryker gives us a closer look at the organization that's creating life-changing friendships.
Oh my goodness.
For most, a good friend can be hard to find. But for a person with an intellectual or developmental disability, it can be almost impossible. That's where Best Buddies steps in.
Well, the main goal is to bring people who maybe struggle with ways to make new friends. They maybe face isolation or loneliness because of their disability. We want them to be able to have the same opportunities as other people to have a friend, and give them a way that maybe that wouldn't happen naturally. I'm Ann from Best Buddies, and as program supervisor, I would like to welcome you officially to the Best Buddies Citizens Program.
Best Buddies has been helping kids in southern Delaware schools since 2009. But as many of those kids started graduating, Best Buddies found the need to expand their adult program.
In Delaware, we started in Wilmington, and now we are spreading downstate with our Adults Citizens Program. And so they can continue with the benefits of our program as a young adult and, forever. We really have no age limit on who can be involved in the program. And I'm lucky to say that we have our first match in Sussex County, and I'm really excited about it because we're going to continue to grow and bring this program to more and more people who are definitely in need of it. You guys are my first match in Sussex County.
And that first match is Lawson&nbsp Blizzard. The two instantly hit it off.
But what we did is we started with pictures. So I brought a photo album and she brought a photo album, and we just explained each other's families. And we just laughed from the beginning.
Almost immediately, they developed a bond that would normally take years to build.
And one of the nicest things that she did is there was a day when I wasn't feeling well. And she texted me after that to see how I was doing, and the next day to see how I was doing, which I don't know if that's normally her personality or not, but I just thought that was just super nice for somebody that I had just met.
And thanks to technology like texting, they have no problem keeping up with the requirements set by Best Buddies.
We encourage them to speak once a week. That can either be with phone, email, or text, and then get together a couple times a month. That's just the program minimum.
While the two have plans to go bowling and visit the state fair, for now they're happy just hanging out, which Shalonda's mother hopes will help her break out of her shell.
It'll help her be more outgoing, have more self-confidence, and help her to be a little more open and a little more outgoing.
And the more she opens up, the more friends she'll be able to meet.
That person with a disability world grows by that much more because there's going to be friends, there's going to be family members, there's going to be work associates, and as they make that one friendship, their entire world will become bigger and broader and filled with more friendship opportunities.
But it's not just Shalonda who's benefiting from the program. Deanna says she's getting a lot from it too.
The citizens probably get more out of it than the buddy does, even though the buddy, is supposed to need you. I think you need them more than they need you. But it's just good for your heart, It's something that's going to make you feel better than, about anything. Which one do you want to watch?
Which goes to prove everyone involved with Best Buddies, from the buddy to the volunteer, gets something out of the program.
She can, have another buddy that she can call and talk to.
That's what I get out of it, a new friend who makes me laugh.
And it makes me always feel great that people open themselves up to this. to another person, to the opportunity, and it just spreads, goodwill everywhere.
Best Buddies is always looking for new buddies. If you're interested in becoming one yourself, visit our website, WLSD.com, to find out how. All you have to do is click on our picture at the top of the page.
Oh, yeah. Our next two guests know a thing or two about being buddies. In fact, they're the best of friends, and they'll soon participate in an event to educate others about a genetic disorder. They're both living with Down syndrome.
So we would like to introduce you to Max Morgan. This is Max's mom, Holly, and Max's best bed, Elric Danforth. They're all of Salisbury. Yes. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
You good to go? Yeah,
yeah,
no, don't go. I'm just kidding.
You're not
So, Holly, tell us, what was it like when you first found out that you were going to have a child with Downs? How did that affect you?
Well, actually, I didn't know. None of the tests came up that I was going to have a child with Down syndrome.
Right.
I went to a specialist because of my age, and they said, well, there's a slim chance, but not really anything.
Yeah.
Well, at that point, I think I just knew.
Right.
And because I have dealt with children with Down syndrome for many years in college.
Okay.
When they didn't have all the resources they have now.
Right.
So I was excited. I loved working with children with Down syndrome, and now I have my own, and
Yeah.
it was
How about
amazing.
that?
So you weren't concerned or afraid of having to raise the children and raise at Max?
No, I wasn't personally. My husband was, because he didn't know anything about Down syndrome, so he was a little worried. And there's different types of Down syndrome and different things like heart defects and leukemia that strike our children with Down syndrome. And I mean, the thing's high. We have like 1 in every 691 kids have Down syndrome, which is about 6,000 a year that are born. And I had to educate pretty much my husband on it and tell him, he's not going to be a vegetable. He's not going to be sitting there drooling all day. He's going to be a productive person.
And you have a lot of help too.
Yes, thank goodness. Thank goodness.
This is Morena. This is Max's sister. So how's it been raising Max?
It has been amazing. And except for when people come up to me and they say, oh, what's wrong with him, Mom? I feel sorry for you. And I tell them, you shouldn't feel sorry for me because of him. You should feel sorry I have 2 girls. He's very easy. I mean, he has a developmental delay. And these 2 have been going to Pinehurst for since they were 3 years old.
Right.
And they had a wonderful teacher, Deb Riley, who is the first son of going to school. And she is amazing. They're using iPads to communicate.
Wow.
And they moved up from 3 years old up. And then they had Omar Bear, which was totally a non-traditional teacher and just has them going amazing. He's good in math.
He loves Momar.
Yes.
like
And
Momar?
Elric is in reading.
Like Momar?
Pinehurst has really helped out. Because back when I was growing up with kids with Down syndrome, there was no early intervention.
Right.
And we have it here.
Okay, now you've got shirts on that say Team Double D's. What's this? Tell us about Team Double D's.
Team Double D's
Albert.
is we have a
Show me your shirt.
buddy cruise coming up,
Okay.
which is we have an event on Buddy Cruise, which is the Buddy Walk.
Okay.
And we walk for awareness and education, and pretty much they have a lifetime of memories. This is our team. We are raising money for Buddy Cruise.
Okay.
We have about another 3 or 4 days, August 1st, to reach our goal, a couple more $100,
Right.
which will go to Buddy Cruise. And that helps not just the people that are on the Buddy Cruise that go, it helps, we help out in the community as well. Local
So how can
communities.
we help?
How can you guys help? You are doing great. We had a couple sponsors already. You guys, of course, are sponsoring by your media attention.
What about our viewers, the community members? What can they do?
Community members, we need to get the word out that Buddy Cruise, we are not just for Down syndrome anymore. It was founded by 2 siblings that decided to have the Buddy Cruise because of their younger sibling who had Down syndrome.
Okay.
So, but since then, the Buddy Cruise has been here since 2008.
Okay.
And we realized there was a bigger audience we needed to connect with. So originally it was for Down syndrome. Now we have kids with autism, cerebral palsy, everything. So people who want to help us can get on our website, buddycruise.org, and just learn about it.
Right.
Educate themselves.
Educate themselves. Because I think that's the problem with today. People are not educated enough on Down syndrome. We do not have any classes on Down syndrome.
Right.
And me being an ambassador and the other being ambassador, other people, that's our job to get the information out that Down syndrome is not a problem, it's a way of life. And they can grow up to be
Great parts of the community.
exactly.
Thank
Max,
you
you've done
so
good,
much.
buddy.
You guys did
Thank you,
great.
Lorena. Thank you.
And
all
if you
so
would
much
like
for
to
coming in.
read more about the Buddy Walk or would like to support the Buddy Cruise, go to WBOC.com, click on our picture at the top of the page.
So still ahead on Delmarva Life, the summer is a great time to make the most of your screened-in porch, but what about when it rains or when the weather gets colder? A lot of times we can't use the porch at all. Up next, you're going to find out how you can enjoy that part of your home year-round.
But first, let's kick off a little game we like to call Search for Striker. Sean's somewhere on Delmarva, and it's time for our first clue. Sean?
Well, Jimmy and Lisa, I don't know if you guys are train enthusiasts or not, but the Breakwater and Frankford Railroad arrived in this town in 1872. So there's your first clue. Coming up, I have two more. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.